Hey everyone, welcome back to the KLT Fitcast. Is that too loud already?
No, you're good.
Okay, Josh says that I yell.
You do.
Welcome back to the KLT Fitcast. My name is Kate. This is my husband Josh, and together we own and operate a private fitness studio in Peterborough, Ontario. This is an episode that is kind of like the part 3 of 3, would we say?
Yep.
About women. So sorry, Josh, you can chime in when you want, but
I asked the really intrusive questions. So you can introduce Sherry and then I'll say, sorry, Sherry.
So sorry, when you just said like this is part 3, now you're like at the old gals.
Yes. There you go. So the first episode we talked a lot about like cycles and how fitness and health and wellness can kind of work together with a cycle. And then the second episode we had 2 new moms on. And now it's you. Okay. Our special guest today, finally, I feel like we've talked about it probably 4 or 5 times on podcast.
At least.
This is Sherry, and Sherry and I go way back to our teaching days. Sherry and I were teaching partners for
7
years. Wow. So it was
7 amazing years.
It was really cool for me. Everyone knows who you are via me, even if they don't like know who you are. So Sherry has been a huge part of my life. You are the reason that I got into running. Must never forget that.
Okay.
So I just think when you started coming to the gym, coming to classes here, you walked in and everyone was like, oh, like, I know who that is. Like, I've never seen her before or met her before, but I know who that is because I love you like a mom and a work wife and my best friend. Hey.
Don't get
Anyway,
me crying.
no, it's not going to be like that.
Cheers.
So that's how we know each other. We taught together for a long time, which is also going to come back and be full circle for this episode because I think
you dealt
I think
with
we
all
have
of the
a
issues.
really unique lens about this topic. So this topic is intended to be a lot about what happens later in life. But
as women age gracefully.
but I was gonna say, like, they say at like 35 is when we start seeing the friggin' symptoms. So yeah, you stay in your lane over here, Josh.
It's hard to stay in my lane. Don't worry.
So this episode is going to be a lot about perimenopause and menopause, but I would rather talk about it through a lens of experience. Yes, we'll throw the odds and sods about science in, sure, but I would rather this be a lot about experience because we all know. We open up our phones, we know the symptoms. We're all, I would say, 90% of the people who come through the doors here at the gym
I think you're you're aging your population a lot, and there's going to be a lot of women that's like, Kate, I'm fucking younger than you.
Okay, some of them. Their name. Okay, so yeah, that's the synopsis of this episode. I feel like I'm butchering this right now. You have me nervous.
Okay.
So now I would like for you to talk about who you are, especially with regards to fitness, because I don't know if people know that fitness has been a huge part of your life forever.
And I probably wouldn't say forever. So my kids obviously were very active in sports. So was my husband. And
Mark is the husband.
Yes, Mark,
Drew and
yes.
Sydney. Yeah, go ahead. Talk about them all.
Yeah. So I also have 2 grandkids. But I have always been fairly active. But I really started running, I would say probably about 25 years ago. So I'm almost 60. So I think I started running to basically lose weight and to just kind of get the energy that you need as a mom.
Yep.
And just also the time on your own, because we know as women, we tend to be the caregivers of everyone. And so running was kind of my 30 minutes to an hour time by myself.
Very important.
It's super interesting. Sherry told us before she came on, she's actually not really listened to the podcast at all. I'm throwing her under the bus. But it's really interesting hearing you say that because a really common theme throughout all of our episodes has been women self-sacrificing and not doing these things for themselves.
It's
So to hear you say, like, this is how I brought myself energy, brought myself peace, it's great to hear.
yes. And I think so over the years, I've always kind of, so number one, been running. And then my son got me into some triathlons when he was kind of at the end of high school. So I've done some tries, I've done some duathlons, and then he also kind of got me into going to the gym and lifting weights, doing some strength training. So I remember my kids being in high school and we would have a family membership to like the Peterborough Wellness Center and going, and we'd be in the pool, we'd be lifting weights. Some of us would be playing basketball, whatever. And it was kind of became a family activities.
I have a question for you. Over your life, how have you noticed like fitness and training change for women? Like, how has the messaging shifted in your lifetime?
Oh my gosh. So I feel like lifting weights when I was younger was not common for women at all.
It was like
Other than
treadmill work, cardio work,
right?
Burn as many calories as you can.
Other than like say female phys ed teachers,
Yeah,
who would kind of push that. But now, well, you said we wouldn't really talk about the research, but just the research on how important strength training is now for women is huge.
And true strength training, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about strength training as well. A lot of people aren't actually doing strength training.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're lifting
they're
weights that are too light. They're lifting weights that are whatever, not using certain pieces of equipment or going to classes. I try really hard not to like call out specific things, but going to classes that are classed as workout. Yeah, strength trainings, and they're holding on to 2-pound weights.
Yeah,
Like,
or
that's
they're like walking or running on a treadmill or riding a bike, like a stationary bike, or like you said, the elliptical, like all of those.
It's a rower. It's a rower.
Yeah.
But that's always, I remember that was the first piece of equipment I had in our home gym.
What, the treadmill? Or the
No, was an elliptical.
Yeah.
And that was, oh my gosh, that was like 25.
Yeah.
Or like years or more years ago, right?
Yeah.
But I think you mean, Josh, like places that you would go and you're on a treadmill, you're on a rower, and then there's like a fraction of like 5-10 minutes of the
Actual
lifting weight that are
and the weights that you lift sometimes aren't even free weights, right? So it's not true strength training. And we'll probably talk a lot about how
I'm the one that knows.
This is stuff that I went to school for. But as you get older, especially for women, bone density becomes a real issue. And there is so much research coming out about how strength training helps manage that.
Can I tell you something that's just a random aside that has, well, you know what? It should have something to do with this podcast, but it's random. I gave a tour earlier in the week, and I brought up the term bone density, and the person had no idea what it was. And she is older, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So when it's kind of interesting when you talk about that, because I feel like that so many years ago when my mom got sick, and my mom did have some bone density issues, osteoporosis, major arthritis issues, all of those things. And I didn't want to live that life. I wanted, not that my mom was not strong emotionally, but physically, walking would be difficult for her at times.
Yeah.
It almost kind of scares it into you in a weird way. Like,
you don't want to be frail in times where that's
It's
strength, like
needed.
it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
important and
Yeah.
needed, right?
We work our entire lives, and finally, when we get to the age where we can retire and start enjoying the fruits of our labor, our bodies start to fail if we're not taking care
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. Okay, so I have like very Cole's Notes versions of perimenopause and menopause kind of symptoms and what is happening. We all know it, so I feel like we don't really need to spend a lot of time on it. But I want to say first, the reason that when we were kind of like throwing around the idea about this podcast, I immediately was like, with Sherry, it's Sherry. I don't care if Sherry says no, she's coming on, it doesn't matter.
We'll try her kicking and screaming.
Because I feel like Josh needs to stay in his own lane, but I do too. But I think it's really cool because while you were living this, I got to live it in the classroom, and the vivid memories of Sherry running over to the window, opening the window that only opened like 2 inches, and sticking her head out the window.
In the middle of winter.
Yeah. So that is like a huge reason why I wanted you to be on this podcast, because while I lived it in a different way.
I want you to remember this when you start going through it and what it was like for you to experience
Every time I have a poor night's sleep, I'm like, oh my God, this is it. It's happening.
It's starting.
Starting.
Yeah.
So obviously, disclaimer, perimenopause and menopause looks different from person to person, the symptoms,
Just
all
like
of that.
a period does for all women.
Yes. And we are not doctors. We are just sharing experiences. We have to do the disclaimer so we don't get sued.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. We're not your medical professionals. Seek professional
Go
advice
to a
if you
doctor.
need it.
So the peri means leading up to it, which this is a new stat for me. It can last 4 to 8 years. That's
Yes.
whack.
So I feel like mine was at least 7 and possibly
Holy.
8.
Wild. So within that time, your estrogen, your progesterone fluctuates, which cause the symptoms that are often associated with menopause. But menopause, and I didn't like the word diagnosed, because menopause is officially diagnosed when you don't have your period for 12
365 days.
Yeah.
1 year.
But like, I don't know, the word diagnosed, I was like, oh, but
Yeah.
everyone's
Just a-
going
it's
through it.
a-
Like,
It makes
Yeah.
it sound like there's something wrong with you when this is a normal.
yeah, like you're
thing.
diagnosed with cancer, you're
it's-
diagnosed
yeah.
with terrible things,
You've
but
got
this,
menopause and it's terminal.
this is happening to
It's-
everyone.
It happens to all women.
Yeah.
Yes.
So things like an irregular cycle, heavier or lighter periods, hot flashes that come on really quick. Sleep becomes hard. And I feel like, yeah, this is the one that I blame every time I have a poor night's sleep. So getting to sleep and staying asleep, higher risk of depression, higher anxiety, brain fog, energy shifts, increased abdominal fat, that dreaded visceral fat. And I just added this one right when you got here, but frozen shoulder. The number of people who come through this gym with shitty shoulders and terrible shoulders, and they're being told that it's frozen shoulder, and the fact that that is a symptom of perimenopause is like, oh my God, like what?
Yeah, that's bonkers.
What?
But I also wonder how much of that is like with the frozen shoulder can be not being like physically strong or not doing
Fair.
training.
And I think it's one of those things that when someone does go to a doctor with this like frozen shoulder, it's really hard to keep things moving.
Oh yeah.
Because you are feeling like you literally can't lift your arm overhead, but you also need to keep things moving even if it's unweighted.
I'm going back to like one of our very first podcasts where I talked about how when you feel the least like doing something, it's when you probably have to
Yeah,
do that
true.
something the most.
Yeah.
So when it's something where you feel like you can't move a body part,
Mhm.
chances are you actually need to move that body
And that
part.
could actually, yeah. So all of those symptoms, all of those things coupled with a woman who is trying to be healthy, lose weight, just live a really healthy life, it can feel like your body is literally turning against you in every single way.
Yep. Being betrayed by
Your
Not
body,
using
by
your
something you cannot control and that you have absolutely no control over.
Yep.
So I think that's where a lot of women who come through the doors here who are of that age, whatever part of this that they're in. Yeah, feeling like their body is broken, betraying them, it's against them, and it can absolutely feel that way.
Because it is.
Yes, yes. So I think later on in the episode, I would like to kind of talk more about that. But over to you. Can you share just your experience, what it felt like, what symptoms you were dealing with, aside from putting your head out the window when it's -40 and we're like, the kids and I are like, oh, it's fine. It's just having a hot flash. We're shivering. Put your coats on, kids.
Okay,
Get your coats on.
Oh. So I feel like the first things that I noticed at the beginning of my perimenopause,
Mhm.
it was horrible moodiness. I would not be able to control some of the moods.
Hold up.
think
The moodiness is going to get worse.
I don't know that I ever noticed that. Interesting.
But I wasn't with you right then.
Oh, fair.
So,
Okay.
and that
fair.
and that's like, I remember
When you were in grade 3?
I was teaching grade 3, and I remember things would happen, and I would be like, it would just piss me off. And I
All
would be
right,
like,
kids,
what
going to the roof.
it was never kid related.
Oh.
It was never kid related. It just, things would happen and it would just tick me off, and I would be like, what is going on? Like, why am I so angry?
Ragey.
Rage.
Interesting.
Yes,
Okay. All right.
yes.
Would Mark agree to that being the first symptom too?
Probably, but I think we would typically just, like most women and most men, say, "Oh, we know what's coming,"
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
because
so true.
it would be like
So true.
PMS, but it was more than PMS.
Okay.
Right? Night sweats, the hot flashes are horrible.
You could see
At
it on your face,
times,
like when it would just
You just feel
overcome
it,
you.
and it feels like you are just on fire. And so, yes, opening up the window or going in that little vestibule and stepping outside in the cold was amazing. Another trick that is wonderful is running to the bathroom and putting cold water or something cold. Maybe that's how I got addicted to cold
Monsters.
monsters in the classroom.
If you're
holding
not
something
watching
cold.
this, Sherry and I live on energy drinks, unfortunately. So let's just turn this. Monsters sponsor us, okay? Okay. Good.
There was
Yes.
also, we kept talking about how this is how we would get Sherry on.
Yeah.
Describing her monsters. And she walks with the case.
Yeah, she brought them.
I just thought, okay, it's the right time. And yeah, so the hot flashes increased, like, anxiety for sure, worrying about things that I normally wouldn't worry about.
Mhm.
And I actually remember going on vacation with Mark, just the two of us. It was probably our first alone vacation without the kids.
Mhm.
And he was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea you had this kind of anxiety.
Aw.
But he would never notice it before because we were busy with
Right,
life,
right,
not
yeah.
the two of us sitting on a beach
Yeah.
alone or
Yeah.
whatever, doing
So
things.
you were left with your thoughts, and those thoughts just took over.
Exactly.
And you hide it. Like, I think we all do, but I know this for you to be true. We hide things.
You do.
We,
You do.
we hide
too.
emotions. Yeah. Pardon?
I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But you were talking about the frozen shoulder. Touch wood, that is not a symptom that I had, but I did have a very weird symptom. And I had tingling on, like, the outside of my knees at times, tingling kind of on your ears, just like an itchiness and weird things that my doctor investigated, and there were
Nothing
nothing.
wrong. Yeah.
Exactly. So I wonder if that
Mhm.
is something.
Mhm.
I'm not sure.
So that started.
Probably, I'm trying to think. So 56, my menopause was like a later menopause.
Mhm.
And I feel like probably around 48
Okay.
was when I started having the symptoms where I knew, oh my gosh, this is exactly what it is.
Right. Right. So would you say, and like when my mom went through it, and I feel like when you do like sex ed and the curriculum and whatnot, was perimenopause like actually a term that was used? It was either menopause or not,
Yeah.
right? Like I feel like
No, perimenopause is definitely not something that's
yeah,
been around for a long time.
It's a fairly new
yeah,
term.
very
I always
too.
just thought, oh, okay, like when people were saying, oh, that's menopause. But then you find out later on, no, that's not menopause.
Right.
That's what
Menopause is
happens
only when your period stops.
It's symptoms,
after a year.
After
yeah,
yeah,
it's symptoms
yeah,
of menopause, but it
right.
happens before you have the diagnosis of menopause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's very kind of yeah, I think new. It reminds me of unrelated, but like PCOS, how people who have PCOS and live with PCOS, like there is now so much more research and things coming out about that, kind of the same. But again, women's health, oh, they're fine. They're fine.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it's they're fine. There just wasn't research done with women
Mhm.
because the fear was that women could be pregnant when you're doing that research. And
Mm.
so historically, there wasn't a lot of scientific studies done with women about
'Cause they might be.
health-related stuff. It was always men because men are the same from about 13 or 14 till the day they die. Like their
They
stuff
don't even
stays the same.
know.
We're lucky that way.
Yes. But when you're saying you think this is new, I actually think in a way that all of this information is sometimes, I'm not going harmful, and I don't mean it's harmful in the sense that like dangerous, but it makes us believe that, oh, okay, it's these things and we need to change everything to kind of help with all of these things, when in fact sometimes when you start making all of these changes that you think are going to be helpful, it actually made my life
Harder.
a little bit
Mhm.
harder and worse.
Yeah. Like, do you mean like
I'm talking about nutrition. I'm talking about
Okay.
exercise and types of exercise.
yeah.
When you are struggling with some things and you are looking for solutions and you're turning to Instagram or and I feel like
The hard thing is all of those solutions, and this has been like it every episode of the podcast we've talked about how all of those things that you see, they're all so they're designed to be quick solutions. They're designed to be, well, this might be easy. This might make things easy. It can
And at a
help
time
in the
where
next 10 weeks. Like it's going to make things better.
but at a time when someone is looking for anything to feel
just
better.
to feel a little bit
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And so for someone who would run every single morning, I would be up at 4 a.m. and I would get my workout in before having to go to work for 7 a.m. So I would be running every day and I loved my running. It felt great. And doing my weights at home. And then when you see someone say, oh, well, you know what? Running and cardio is actually making you feel worse.
Mhm.
So then
You stop.
you stop and then you have no idea what worse. Like you
Right.
feel terrible because you're used to this routine and you think that by cutting it,
And it's something that you love. It's
and it was
something that
something
you
I
love.
loved.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I cut it thinking and hoping that, oh my gosh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why my body is feeling so exhausted or whatever. And then you end up feeling worse.
Yeah, but you also, when you're in that, you don't realize that you're feeling worse until you start to feel better. Like that downward spiral, it just sort of, this is how things are now, right?
Would you
Like,
agree or do you?
I knew I was in.
Yeah.
And so this would be, and when I'm talking about this would be, say, over the last 3 years.
Okay.
So once menopause hit,
Yeah. Yeah.
Right before menopause hit, I was great. I was doing great. I was dealing with these things probably with nutrition and exercise and doing really good.
It's interesting hearing you say that it was about 3 years ago, because what else happened that was a major shift?
Oh, come on.
So
He's calling me out.
I am.
but
It's interesting
know
hearing
what?
you say, like,
but it was also my mom.
Yeah, that
So
too,
many.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my mom got sick. My life became crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you tried to mask it for a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
And I continued. And so I think that could have been also a part of it. But
Yeah, I think it's
but you're right.
It's
You are
yeah,
absolutely
and it's
right.
important to point. No, what I was trying to do, because I was aware your mom and Kate and your retirement,
My whole life
your
changed.
whole- everything
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah.
And it's important to recognize that that is actually super common for women
Mhm.
at that age, right? Like hitting that retirement time. So your normal routine, your normal circle of people, everything changes.
Mhm.
It's so similar to the conversation we had a couple of weeks ago with the new moms, where they were pregnant, went to work, went to the gym right up until the day, like almost the day they gave birth.
Mhm.
Then everything changed.
Yeah.
No longer going to work, no longer coming to the gym, no longer having people stop by. They were on their own their whole life. And they were like, my mood plummeted.
Mhm.
No shit.
Yeah.
That, like, if you logically think that through, those major shifts create the perfect storm for anxiety and depression to manifest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I did go about the depression piece. I
Yep.
did. And my doctor, nurse practitioner, and then I also did some therapy. They said to me they felt it was not depression,
Mhm.
that it was grief and exactly what you were saying, grieving for the life that used to be. And then with now, like all of these changes, right?
yeah.
But yes,
The
you,
perfect storm.
but you
And
kind of taking off and
We had
and leaving. We had an agreement,
we had a
everyone.
great plan.
We had this wonderful plan that I would retire and you would peace out and start your own gym.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Things
unfortunately
unraveled faster
for
for
me,
me.
but fortunately for Kate, she became like, yes, super popular, amazing, and this
Yeah.
incredible fitness.
I didn't
influencer.
go
Yes.
back to work after a Christmas break and
I kind of
left you hanging in the kindergarten, and then you went to grade 1.
I asked for a change because I knew I needed some kind of change, which was amazing.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Um
Sorry, I kind of
no, that's fine. That's what this podcast is
okay.
about.
Perfect.
And we don't
never-
cut anything out. So all of this
So
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
all
Okay.
staying, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like there was something else that I wanted to say, but I forget what it was.
But I would say, yes, it wasn't the clinical diagnosis for depression, but you were experiencing all of the symptoms of depression.
Absolutely. I thought my family was saying, "You're not okay. This is not you, and what's going on? And
Yeah.
we're really worried about you. Your love of exercise is not like you're not going to the gym. You're not using. We have an amazing home gym,
Great setup at home.
and
Overlooked.
they were just very worried that I wasn't, doing those things
You weren't
that
being you.
Yeah. And
would be helpful.
it speaks to how close knit your family is for them to, one, recognize that, and two,
Say it.
call you out on it.
Want to
Like,
have an
hey.
intervention?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's really special too, because there's a lot of, I think, families who wouldn't be as close knit, who it would go unnoticed
Or
or
it's noticed, but there's a fear of saying anything
Yeah.
because that it
makes things awkward.
cannot be sometimes received very well.
Yeah.
It also takes a lot of self-awareness to say, I'm not doing okay and I need help, and to explore what help looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew.
Yeah.
I would talk to you. We would message and you would say, like all of the time, you would be like, come and work out. Like, what if,
Always open for
it's always open. Come
Yeah.
and do this. Or what about trying this? And I knew I needed that, but I just, at that, I couldn't.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, and things only shift when you decide that you can.
Right. I think in every aspect, especially like a health and wellness journey, menopause aside, whatever, every change has to come from the person.
It does.
For sure.
100%.
For
This
sure.
is, and I think Kate's talked a lot about how that's been a major learning curve for her as she started the gym.
Yeah.
It's something like professionally, I know that
Yeah.
to be true.
Yeah.
But I love this saying, if you tell yourself that you can't, then you won't.
Yeah.
If you tell yourself that you can, then you have the possibility of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's true both ways, whether you can or can't. But if you keep telling yourself you can't do something, you never ever will.
Yeah. You've already lost.
Yeah.
So in terms of fitness, circling back to that, would you say that anything has changed with regards to fitness and like the way that you work out? And I don't mean like I come to this gym now. I don't mean that. I just mean not in menopause and then perimenopause, menopause. Has anything changed with regards to that?
So I feel like we just kind of chatted or touched upon me not exercising
Yep.
when menopause hit. And I'm not sure whether it was because of things going on with
Right.
menopause or life
Right.
as it is,
Yep.
right?
Probably all of the above.
Everything,
Yeah.
right? Along with nutrition.
Mhm.
Sorry. I put on like 15 to 20 pounds in a matter of like a couple of years, which that's for me, that's a huge change when basically for so many years I was always basically
The same.
the same. Yeah. Yep.
And
It would fluctuate a pound or two depending on how big of a poo you had to have.
or 5 or whatever. Right? Sorry, that sounded terrible when I said 5. Sorry, I didn't
Big old dumpers. Clip that.
Back that dumb truck up.
I happened to say 5 pounds at the wrong time. Sorry. But and again, I feel like all of these influencers who had probably wonderful information, I tried to go that route and it did not help. So I finally woke up one morning and said to myself, yeah, you have to smarten the F up because
The fuck up.
yeah, you cannot keep going like this. And I said to myself, I am going to go to the gym. And that kind of happened in December.
Yeah.
This past December.
Yeah.
And so
Best day of my life. Best day of my life.
oh,
Getting to see you all the time.
Again.
coming back in.
Yeah, like we used to spend
Every
More
day.
time together than we did with our families.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You definitely had more
Yeah.
Kate time than I did. Yeah.
So you honestly can say you didn't notice the moodiness? Really?
No.
Oh, okay. Because that
No.
was maybe I just held.
You did. You
Together.
did.
That's all.
I think you also like being on the other side of Kate, knowing like you two had just such a like good, genuine.
We were
close
well known
relationship
around those woods as
together.
the dynamic duo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, going back to December and starting that exercise routine and feeling amazing. And then I did the challenge,
Yep.
your
Virtual
your
program.
8-week challenge,
Yep.
where I had to stop eating like terrible.
You had to stop having the 5-pound poos.
I had to stop eating huge portions, and
Yeah.
those were the reasons why I gained the weight.
Yeah.
I stopped my exercise and I started eating at times like crap, sorry, and I felt like crap.
Mhm.
And so you helped me get back on track with that 8-week challenge, and I lost 15 pounds.
Mhm.
just
in 8 weeks.
going back to the way I used to eat and exercising the way I used to exercise.
Taking it
I started
back to
running again.
basics. Back to basics.
I started running again.
Yeah. Yeah. The things that you know work, literally just doing them again. Like just
And it's really funny that you say that because when I told you I was doing that therapy piece
Mhm.
too, and probably by the third session, she said, "It sounds to me like you are getting your groove back." And like she just said, "It sounds like you just needed to kind of put those pieces that used to work for you into your new retired life
Yeah.
and routine and make them fit and get back to that."
Yes. Yeah. I think, yeah, adding your retirement into the mix, like life was very different, but then add retiring into it where you didn't have that place to go Monday through Friday. Like that's a huge shift. That's a completely different routine, not to mention all of the other things that were going
Everything
on.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's isolating, right? And isolation is, in my experience, one of the foundational aspects to depression. Like if I meet with someone and they're isolated, I know that I'm working with someone that's feeling depression.
And in a different way. Like I don't think you are ever
I-
isolated.
No, but
all
from a
of those
community.
routines,
Yes.
everything.
And like going to the school and walking in the hallway and just like yes,
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
that,
yeah.
all of
Social.
that.
Like
Yeah.
humans
Yes.
are
Yeah.
social creatures. As much as people will say, like I love to have my own quiet time. You still need to be around others,
Yeah.
and those others can't really be from your core family group all the time,
Right.
because you're, as a mom, as a wife, you're doing your care, providing them. You're not really like having that social piece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So coming to the gym, maybe that was also an additional piece of it, right?
I hope so.
Right?
Community.
Right?
But
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I've talked about this relating to my journey, how you can't, like maybe the couple of years where you gained that 15 pounds, like maybe that had to happen so you could like dig your way out and take it back to basics. Like
Get back to
if
you.
it feels shitty that, oh, like I kind of like I stopped all those routines, but maybe that happened like for a reason. Like
It happens. So that
I
you can
just
find
yeah.
yourself again.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
back to who you
And there's
are.
nothing wrong with that. Like, okay, it happened, whatever. Don't dwell on that. It's
Move.
just like
Yes.
now we can it's
Yes.
forward thinking.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, depression lives in the past.
Anything that you are like still currently experiencing when it comes to
Mhm.
yeah?
Absolutely. So, can I say that I started? Can I talk about hormone replacement?
Yeah, it's right here. That's the next one. Yes.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I want that to come up.
Okay.
And then you talk about it and then
So I started hormone replacement therapy right basically when I hit menopause. So I went a year without a period.
Mhm.
And then I went to my doctor and said, I've done all kinds of research on how helpful hormone replacement therapy is, not only for all of those symptoms, but for bone density,
Thought your
for
husband.
all. Yeah, don't even go there with me because I will not be talking about that. But that is also another symptom. But anyway, so I started hormone replacement therapy, and it has been really helpful.
Didn't I say that
I
was
did have
like
issues in the beginning, and I had to stop.
okay.
And I stopped for about 6 months before they tested things and made sure that I was okay and
Right.
put me on a lower dose.
Didn't you say it was like 13 days?
It was
and
13. I knew because I started my hormone replacement therapy, and oh my gosh, I had a hot flash the next day. And then you're like, okay, like
Doesn't
how
work.
long?
Yeah.
This sucks.
This is not working. And it was day 13. And you know when you no longer are suffering from hot flashes.
Yeah.
So I feel like I still have some elevated anxiety, and maybe that is just me, and maybe it has nothing to do with menopause. I don't know. I
How
do
many
have
of
night
those do you
sweats.
have?
Oh, please get out of here with the
Oh,
caffeine.
yeah, they
That's a
say
lifeline.
Caffeine,
Whatever.
100%
That's a lifeline.
causes anxiety. Yeah.
I cannot cut out my pre-workout,
Yeah, I'm not telling you to. I'm
and
saying if you're one,
I could have this or a coffee.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
I know. My doctor tells me all the time.
yeah, more than likely that's where the anxiety is coming from.
Shut up, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, but in regards to the HRT, how was that conversation received by your doctor? And why why is it so hard for a lot of women to get put on that with their doctor? And I have a client who has been living this and going to her doctor, who this doctor is a youngish female and is hard stopping. No, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. And she's like,
Then I would suggest to get another
yes,
doctor.
yeah, like
Because
why is it
so
so hard to advocate for yourself?
my doctor was not like that
Okay.
at all. My doctor knew exactly what was going on.
But you
With me?
cannot start hormone replacement therapy until you are in menopause.
No,
You can do it
You
in
can?
peri.
yeah,
Okay.
you can.
Yeah.
And if I had to go back in time, 100%, I
Would
would
you?
have done something before. But I thought my mom went through it. Everybody went through it.
Yeah.
They didn't have any of these things. They
Yeah.
just dealt with those symptoms.
And are there risks to being on HRT? Like what would cause a doctor who someone is going to with all of these symptoms and they're feeling like shit, they just want to feel normal again? What are the potential bad things?
So I'm not a doctor, but
Disclaimer.
yeah, exactly. I'm sure there are some issues.
There's side effects.
So
and-
side effect.
Yeah.
So my issue, because I was on it for a certain period of time, and then I started having bleeding, irregular bleeding,
Okay.
not normal, and so I think that the concern is with the hormone
Right.
replacement therapy, a risk of, say, uterine cancer.
Okay.
Things like that. Breast cancer, people are afraid of. But I followed this doctor in the States, Dr. Mary Claire Haver.
Mhm.
She is phenomenal. And she basically set me up just based on conversations she would have with people on Instagram or whatever about what you need to take to your doctor and say to your doctor.
Right.
Because the way she feels, the risks, the benefits outweigh any of the risks.
It's the same with me and my ADHD medicine.
Yeah.
The benefits outweigh the risks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Heart health, all like just so many things.
Right. Especially as someone who is, you already do all of the right things and you're still dealing with the symptoms. So it's a natural, it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any
No.
questions? Okay.
I'm trying to stick to my lane, remember?
Good job.
I have to say though, I am blown away that doctors would feel the need to
Yes. In my head, when she told me
basically tell somebody
Man.
that whatever you were dealing with is not important or serious.
and the first time she brought it up to me, I was like, oh, sorry, Josh. It's a white man that is your doctor, right? And she's like, no, it's a female who is actually of the age who would be likely experiencing some of these things too. And she's just met with.
But apparently they don't have training. They don't have training with, number one, with nutrition, like medical doctors.
Yeah.
I'm sure they
I'd
probably
go to,
have
like,
a
the
couple of
OBs.
hours.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Yeah.
Go to a specialist. That's what I would be saying.
But don't you think that
But
don't you think that a family doctor who knows
they might not know though. That's the thing. Family doctors know a little about a lot of different things.
Mhm.
But and I have this conversation all the time professionally. I wouldn't go I went to my doctor for my mental health and asked for a referral to
Right. Right.
mental health
a mental
professional.
health professional.
Right.
Because I know that my family doctor, he's so smart, but his knowledge around mental health is not going to be what a specialist is going to be.
Right.
And it's the same with women's health.
Yeah.
A family doctor is going to know a lot about the things that could go wrong for women's health, but they're not going to be an expert on women's
Right.
bodies.
Right. So another just reminder, like, you get to advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
You get
Right.
to advocate. You get to
Ask
like
for
you
the
like
referral.
you like doing the research, having the things ready to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
To be able to
Advocate and
Someone
say,
also-
this is what I need.
Yeah. Someone also recommended a book. It's called Estrogen Matters. And it was amazing in kind of explaining to my doctor too, like why it is so important. And
yeah.
because Josh is right. They don't know everything.
Right.
No.
They might know
We
a little
treat-
bit,
yeah,
a
we
little
treat-
bit about everything, but yeah.
Yeah, they know a little bit about a lot of things is the best way to describe it. And so they know enough that they could say, yeah, you now have the diagnosis of menopause. Full stop. That you fit this criteria. That like they know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But they might not know that when you're experiencing XYZ symptoms, HRT will treat those symptoms really effectively because that's a little bit more in depth in women's health. It's the same with, yeah, I can tell that, you're isolated, you're feeling low every day, you're having some thoughts of maybe not wanting to be around anymore. That sounds a lot like depression. Here's a medication for
Right.
that.
Right.
When in reality, those symptoms are actually part of a bigger puzzle, and you really need to go see a psychiatrist
The next. Yeah.
and have a more thorough mental health examination done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I was lucky. My doctor was amazing.
Yeah. Good.
And he like it's male
Yeah.
doctor.
Oh.
He was amazing.
Yeah. So I guess in terms of what you're doing now to combat any symptoms,
That nutrition,
Yeah.
exercise,
Yeah.
so important.
I
Is
think
it complicated?
What I do now?
Yeah,
Absolutely
it is.
not.
Is
So
getting
the word
from where you were to where you are now, is it complicated?
no,
Yeah.
no.
No, it's really not.
It is actually pretty basic.
Yeah.
Is it hard?
yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Is it hard?
To execute, to do the things.
Oh,
that
I-
you have to
you know
say.
what?
It's so
There are
It's
parts
not
that-
hard if you don't want it to be.
fair.
Yeah.
I think, would it be fair to say that the hardest part was December and January?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Walking
Because
through the
you
door for the
feel-
first time.
Well, number one, you're not feeling your greatest.
Yep.
But yes, you're happy that you've made that choice to
do
do something different, but you're still it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For sure.
uncomfortable as
Until
Yeah.
it's not, right?
Gotta
And
be
often
okay with it.
yeah, and it's a battle up here too. A lot of the times, like those conscious decisions, day after day after day, that feel like
Small choice.
but hard to do. Like
Yeah.
the equation to doing the things and feeling your best and losing weight. It's a simple equation, but the execution can be really challenging. Again, I feel like I don't know how we are for time.
It does not going to show you the time.
Okay. This is something that we've already touched on, so kudos, high five to all of us for already
Mhm.
touching on these things. But I think one of the common misconceptions about all of this is that weight gain is inevitable and it's because of menopause, when really the things that are required of us don't really change.
No.
The symptoms of menopause can make doing the things really challenging because you're tired, you're fatigued, you're newly retired, and
Your routine's gone.
your output of activity is changing as well. Like you were in a grade 1 classroom for 8 hours a day. That is an active job, to then going to retirement. So the symptoms and the things that happen when it comes to menopause can make the daily habits harder. But when it comes to weight loss and a transformation journey, those things remain?
I would say, based on my experience, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But going back to where we started with, it's so easy to open up your phone and see so much
Information.
foggy information. And when you're feeling your worst, it's so easy to steer into that because it feels like it might be easy. It feels like that person, well, if they did it, I'm going to do it too. But
they're an expert.
Yes.
They're telling you exactly why you are gaining belly fat or visceral fat.
Mhm.
They're telling you that it's because you're eating, even though you're eating clean, you're eating the wrong things.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that chances are, if you're watching someone talk about something on TikTok and they are not labeling themselves as like
Paid by.
no, as like a professional that
Oh,
has
yes.
gone to school
Yeah.
for a long time to get their designation, they're probably feeding you bullshit that they've been paid to say.
Yeah.
But this doctor, who is phenomenal, she
Who
is
is a
amazing.
doctor.
She is an OBGYN that
Yeah.
she has,
That's what I mean.
Yes.
If
and
you
she
see
has done that.
information, then it's different.
And then, yeah, like talking about, oh, you know, not doing the running and the sprinting and all of that and the zone 2 and getting you all confused. So you think you're doing everything wrong. When in fact, I was actually doing everything right.
Mhm.
It was just my body at that time. I just needed grace, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
You needed time to allow the internal stuff to heal and process that, and then rediscover you, because there is a you before and a you after.
Oh, absolutely.
So I feel like the last thing we always try and do in these podcasts, because you don't watch them, is leave like something, a takeaway, that people can take away, whether or not it's something that they can think about, reflect on, implement in their day-to-day life as soon as they stop listening or watching. But I think for this one, the tips and takeaways,
It's been all the way through.
but regardless of your age, regardless of your stage of life, the things that you need to be doing to live your best life when it comes to health and wellness, the things are the same.
Yeah.
That is strength training and true strength training. That's nutrition, eating enough protein. And if fat loss is the goal, then it needs to be a calorie deficit. Vitamins, fiber, movement in general.
Yes.
Those things are the takeaway, even though this episode is all about like menopause and perimenopause. The takeaways are still the same.
The same. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Socialize, be active, move some weight,
Mhm.
and eat
Eat
well.
good food.
Yeah.
Eat good food.
Eat
Yeah.
well.
One thing that I do want to say, and I know I've said this to you before, but coming back to the gym, you have given me and your community,
Mhm.
but you have truly given me back my love for my home gym.
Mhm. Lit the fire.
And you know that because, yeah, like even though I haven't been coming in here
Mhm.
as much, I have been using my home gym
That's what matters.
daily.
Yep. That's what matters.
And getting that back.
Yeah. Even every day in here, people can work out wherever they want.
Yeah. At whatever levels they're capable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, whether or not it's a different gym, it's at home, wherever. What matters is you're doing it. That is what I and we want everyone to always take away, is how important it is to do that strength training. For the like
My grandkids know it too.
Yeah.
Like
warm up.
they want to come down to the gym and lift the 3-pound.
Yeah.
Like, show me the muscles and
Yeah. It's powerful.
Yeah.
It's so powerful.
It makes them feel powerful to
Yeah.
see you be powerful. Say that to like talking about women all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do it, they learn it.
Yeah.
And if what you're doing is kind of wallowing or feeling sad and not being social, isolating yourself, not working out, not being active, that's what your kids see, and that's what they're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I don't think so.
Do you have anything else to add?
No.
Okay, then we
Thank
have to
you.
do our plug. Thank you for watching, listening. We appreciate all of the reviews, all of the 5 stars, all of the likes and subscribes from wherever you're watching. Yeah, a couple weeks and we'll have another episode.
We're probably going to be taking some time off in August from doing one because I have family visiting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, never thought about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next Saturday they arrive, so we're not going to be recording.
This is going to drop on Monday. This is going to drop
Yeah.
in 2 days.
Awesome. Thanks
Okay.
so much for having me.